Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Lindo Rosa Mangioli, and I am a coordinator in the Office for Leadership and Social Responsibility in the Center for Student Support Services. And welcome to the Mental View. And our theme for today is PACT to ACT. So today, we really want to be having a conversation with you guys about the importance of mental health. Much more important than that is the awareness of mental health issues in society, particularly with students and staff at our beloved University of the Western Cape. And today I'm joined by two special guests who are going to help us sort of navigate some of the issues around these things, and also not only will we be talking about what we think, what we do to sort of deal with our own mental health issues or challenges, but we're going to be watching videos that are submitted by you around how do you deal with your own mental health issues. And today I'm joined by, on my left,
I'm Kay Rudolph. I'm an intern within the Graduate Competency Development Program, newly run out by UWC for graduates. I've been placed in the Department of CSSS. And basically my background on UWC is having been a student in this culturally diverse university and community. I'm a registered social worker, and I'm really excited for today's discussion.
Hi guys, I'm Nathan Case. I'm also coordinator within CSSS, for specifically the Office of Leadership and Social Responsibility. My background is as a coordinator, I'm also a psychological counselor, and so we do a lot of facilitation and counseling and coaching with students developing their leadership skills. And before, guess what? I was also a student. We never say it looked like it was yesterday. I was also a student and a peer educator, trying to spread awareness and information as a peer to my other peers. And I think during that years, I really got to know the nitty-gritties of what affects us most as students and what people want to hear. And hopefully we cover that today.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, you guys have heard it yourself. These are the people that I'm with today. A diverse panel, of course, and a panel that really wants to sort of navigate and sort of help you, get into an understanding of what are the things that we can do to alleviate this. And we want to be really sure that people understand the inevitability of sometimes your mind not being well. Because it's an organ like any other organ. It's just that when your leg is broken, you can see. And sometimes when your mind is not, performing optimally, we can't see. It doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong with it and there's nothing that we can be able to do about it. And myself as well, I come from the University of the Western Cape, both as a student. I'm a veteran since 2011, and I still remain a student at the university and a staff member. And I was also part of the Students' Representative Council over 2 terms, and a number of my experiences have led me to believe that a supportive environment is not enough for you to be able to thrive as a student and a staff member, but you accessing the support is perhaps more important than that. And so today, we really want to give you a number of tips and also to view the tips that come from other people. Most importantly, a word for the sponsors. We come from the Center for Student Support Services. It's proudly brought to you by the center itself, which is primarily responsible for supporting students in a range of issues that make sure they optimize the academic functioning of students. And on to the business of the day, we want you to watch a couple of videos that will sort of speak to the question of how we deal with the component of the mind in relation to mental health awareness. Take it away.
And nothing hurts anymore, I feel kinda free. We're still the kids we used to be. I put my hand on the stove to see if I still bleed.
So this is how I look after my mental health. I find a good book, depending on my mood, find a comfortable chair and relax.
I have crossed the horizon to find you. I know your name. They have stolen my heart from inside you. But this does not define you.
our price almost every penny on the
Hey, whoa, don't let the troubles and the struggles get in your way. Hey, when I'm feeling like life's really putting up a fight and I don't know the reasons why. From the front to the back, throw my head on my back and I know it's gonna be alright. Cause my sanity is just a half flip, it's just a half flip away. Cause my sanity is just a half flip, it's just a half flip away.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed those videos. Some of them were really interesting to watch. You know, got a lot of TikTok superstars in the making. Talk to me, Kay. What stood out for you in those videos?
What really resonated with me was the positive self-talk. You know, that is the most powerful form of communication. It can either empower you or it can defeat you. And so what is self-talk? It's basically this endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through your mind. It can either be positive or negative, and it comes from logic or reason, and oftentimes from a lack of information. So when we can change that narrative within our minds of, you know what, you are good enough, you are worthy, we can then move to a place where we feel good about ourselves. So the benefits of self-talk are basically lowering your rates of depression, lower the levels of distress, and better coping during hardships and with stress. And speaking of reducing stress, reading is also a good way that helps with reducing stress. Studies have shown that reading for as little as 6 minutes a day can improve the quality of sleep, reduces your stress. It also sharpens your mental acuity. And it's also been shown to put our brain in a state of similar to meditation, which is fascinating for me because it also reduces the symptoms of dementia. Because wow, that is a real thing. And so when we get those benefits of deep relaxation and inner calm, we feel better because it's quiet around us, we are concentrating, our minds are running with what we are reading, and we're just in a different world in terms of our imagination. And so it also strengthens that neural circuits and pathways of our brain. It also lowers your heart rate and your blood pressure. So I think those were just fascinating points that our UWC community submitted in the form of their videos.
You call them TikTok superstars.
Yeah.
Or UW's is TikTok superstars. Thank you so much for that, Kay. I mean, it's quite, informative stuff, particularly in how these are day-to-day things that we normally do, but I think sometimes what's missing is that we don't do it intentionally, and therefore without the intention you can't get the positive outcome. For you, Nathan, tell me what stood out for you.
I think what really stood out for me, just what you just said, is the everyday things, is the gardening. I never thought of gardening because I've got plants, and I put them out every now and then, but I've realized it has become one of those routine things that I do, and I call it a great escape. And so that is the benefit of it. You escape from that reality that you are in, and you move to a point of concentration, and it brings you to that meditation space again. And really the benefit is it makes you feel more peaceful, it centers you, it brings you to that point of where you are in full balance and alignment with yourself. And that really sometimes becomes, it boosts your self-esteem, it boosts your mental state at that moment because you found a moment to be peaceful. And I think
the moment of Zen.
The moment of Zen. And I didn't realize, and I see people doing it, like the lady in the video did it, and it became, she was stressful and everything was so stressful, and she found a moment in the garden. But also the beauty of seeing a seed grow to something. Taking something through a life process is something so beautiful. It's seeing it grow and the greenery of it. And as we all learn in biology, if you biology, is that photosynthesis process and the greenery of what they actually help us get oxygen. And so that we even breathe in. So when you're around your plants and you're meditating and you just interact with the plants and you feel the ground and you feel the soil and you put your seeding in, literally you immerse yourself in that growth process. And as that growth process then literally comes over to you. And I think for me, the other bit that I saw people do meditation videos on the beach, people were sitting there, that moment of quietness comes through again, you know? It's like, with all the busyness, your brain needs a moment of quietness.
Yeah.
And whenever you find, for me myself, I love just hearing the clashing of the waves as well. It's the most beautiful meditation or meditative sound that you could get. But if nature or birds is that thing. And sometimes people will think it's escape might be you taking a holiday. It doesn't necessarily mean that. I think those people just went to the beach, and I can't be in Cape Town, this beautiful city. A beach is right around you, right, left, center. You can go to any beach. Sitting and feeling the ground, listening to the waves and escaping yourself. I think that it's a natural mood booster, we call it, and it assists you with embracing every sense of you. Your skin, your sound, your taste, and whatever sense is available to you at that moment, and to you and what your body is able to feel and sense, it really brings you that moment of then at the end, if you are at peace, you foster greater kindness, calmness towards other people, and when you treat people with calmness, you get calmness back.
Wow. I think, thank you for that, Nathan. I think what I take from that is a lot of, you're speaking about growth, you're speaking about, seeing seedlings come to life, a sense of purpose. And I think when we find a sense of purpose as human beings, we sort of want to keep going. And that sort of helps us alleviate whatever stress that we have. And speaking of sense of purpose in an academic institution, I think of students, and academics and professional staff and everyone that keeps the university going can suffer from academic burnout. I saw, an interesting video that spoke really about from the Golden Key Honor Society, which really celebrates academic excellence. And I think it's so pertinent that the video comes from them, who promote academic excellence, but also promote how can we deal with the pressures that come with that. And I think burnout is something that, doesn't go away on its own. I think what we take from it is that burnout itself is something that we've got to be able to say we can't ignore, And if we are not going to look at the symptoms and think of it as, there's something that we can be able to do, then, it's going to continue to thrive. And I think the more we ignore it, the more it'll fester within our system. So for students to really understand that thriving academically is fundamentally important, but also to be able to take care of the mind that allows you to thrive in the academic setting is even more important, and like my daughter says, important time. So just generally, looking at everything that we've discussed and all those beautiful videos, we really want to thank you guys for submitting those videos to us. I know it takes a lot of time with the editing and all of those things, and thank you to our TikTok superstars. But we really want to say, as a parting shot on this segment of The Mind, that there are many forms of self-care. Some use makeup, and this morning I used my usual face cleanser to be able to speak to you, and that makes me feel good on the external part, and also it makes me feel good internally. So when I feel good, when I look good, I feel good, and things like makeup and things like meditation and all of those things can help us to be able to perform at our most optimal academic and work functioning. So moving from the question of the mind and now leading us to the question of the body that carries this particular mind, we're going to watch a few other videos that can help us think about that.
Hey UWC family, so what do I do to keep my stress down? Well, I get out into the beautiful sunshine and I go for a walk or a run. Take care, enjoy.
And the joy they bring. It's the
decided to just run around my neighborhood and at times read books. And I hope that everyone is actually living a healthy life, a safe one, and all the best for the upcoming examinations. I know they're in December or November, but sharp.
Altijd op, man. We gaan het zwaar, we zijn physical.
Welcome back, and I hope you guys enjoyed those clips that we've played for you. We've dealt with the question around how do we deal with our minds, and now we've moved on to the body. And a number of the videos that have been played have been quite interesting, that show us really how people, use their bodies to be able to channel their inner energy to deal with some of the mental health issues. And just to ask Kay, what are the issues that you think you picked up on the videos that were of interest to you?
I would have to say what really got me excited was seeing the videos of the hockey field, and it takes me back to when I used to play hockey, huddling up in your circle, doing your spirit ball, knocking your sticks together, and that all reduced the stress. The match is starting, the fears. And it was so exhilarating because we were all together, we're doing this together because we want to win at the end of the day. And so what hockey does, it reduces that stress, it releases endorphins, that calms your mood, it just makes you feel so good because you're part of a team, there's teamwork, it improves your communication as well, because now you're not just saying, hey, pass here, you're now saying, with your eye and your head and your this and things. And I remember for each play we had like a secret code, a word. I remember the one we used was mango. So when I scream mango, you're shooting this way, and the play just goes, and we're moving forward, we're going to score that goal. And all of that, just the fast pace of running with the ball, focusing, it just all made you feel so, it just made you feel good. Like it's really taking me back now, and all of that, you're running, it improves your speed, your strength, your concentration on where that ball needs to go. You need to listen where the players are, who's calling for you, who's standing there, and it's just a good way to work as an exercise for your body. And there are so many benefits of playing hockey. It's the communication, the feelings that you feel, the mood control, the concentration, all these things. So that is just one thing that now really took me back to those days of playing hockey.
I can tell.
Very excited about it.
Yes. Very excited. You could give her a hockey stick now. You should hold a couple of moves there. No, I think speaking fundamentally to the point that it's exercise, it releases endorphins, and for me, I also resonated a lot with the questions around exercise, because I think it's done a lot for me as well. Being someone who has a multitude of responsibilities, sometimes you get into this lock, and sometimes your escape can be that exercise, and you don't need to be a fitness fanatic. I think that's what the video showed us. She was exercising in a room, in a small space. Given COVID-19 regulations and all, it's safe, but you just need to be able to move your body around and give yourself a different feeling of exhilaration, and I think that's what it is. And like the normal adage goes, you can walk it off and you will be okay. Just moderate exercise has been proven scientifically by research to say that it can be able to improve your mood numerous times. So I think the exercise part for me stood out, and particularly because of what it does to your brain, in that your brain takes off from all the stressful events that you need to think about, and you concentrate on really just moving and breathing and making sure that you're up for the next part of your exercise. So that resonated with me. What about you, Nathan?
I must say, look, I'm about the entry level things here. You guys sound very advanced. Like hockey, real exercise, next level thing. I love the level of a hike, a good old hike, and I appreciate it mainly because it does also exercise your muscles. You do get some exercise within your muscles, it strengthens your body. And I think the main theme and what you have to realize under the body is that a healthy body informs a healthy mind, you know? And you feel less stressed about it. So what it does, it improves your balancing, but also it reduces your chances of getting any respiratory problems because of the breathing in nature. That is so beneficial for you. That breathing in nature, and as we know, breathing meditation also goes in hand with each other. And as humans, it just boosts our mood because you are out again, and that great escape comes in again. So for me, a good hiking trip on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, hanging out with friends. And it's weird how you say that sports and exercise comes with that camaraderie, because walking alone is beautiful, it's peaceful, but you also as friends, you push each other along, and I might just be the one pulling and pushing, and come on Nathan, you can do it. But yet again, what you just said, what we spoke about earlier around, the mind is, how that connection with the mind is that people are rallying for you, they're cheerleading you along, and at the same time, those words of affirmation, you can do it, and you tell yourself, I can do it, there's only one more hour, really do I have to do this? But then, at the same time, you appreciate the nature that you are in, and how beautifully beneficial that nature is for you. And I think all of that combined with the hike, yet again, as for me, it's one of those things we have no excuse of not doing. It's if you are able to walk, or even if you're not able to walk, there is hiking trails and walking trails that are disabled friendly, I mean, for anybody that has some whatever ability they have or disability, is that you can go out in nature, because nature is for us all to enjoy and just be there in that moment. So I think hiking stands out to me weirdly enough, because at school I was shying away from sports. I did volleyball, and I was a captain of the volleyball team, but it was primary school. It's not that impressive. I think that my leadership skills got me to be the captain and not the playing. But I was on the hiking team as well in high school, and I wish every school has it, because we went for 5-day hikes, right? 5 days in Swellendam. Guys, it was torture to the next level, but the sense of accomplishment I felt within myself after 5 days of hiking. The first day I almost clamped out because it felt like I got pneumonia. My teacher told me then, because I was sitting and she said you could have got pneumonia just sitting there, because I was just, my breaks in between was too quick, I didn't keep my pace going. But after 5 days of hiking, the accomplishment and then reflecting back and saying, I was surrounded by nature for 5 days. What a privilege I have, but also how the nature assisted me in appreciating myself more and my ability myself. And so I think it's a beautiful way of doing it as well, and helps us. So definitely.
I see there's an intimate connection between Nathan and hiking, connection between Kay and hockey, an intimate connection between myself and possibly football, because I mean that's for me. I think just watching people play also gives me much more endorphins than sometimes even actually playing it. But I think also what's more important is the intimate connection between your mind and the body. As long as our minds, are in decent, motion and shape, that our bodies stand a better chance of performing optimally. And I think this is what the segment, stood out in the segment for me, is that we don't need to be going to the gym and sweating buckets of sweat and running around and all of those things. We could be taking a walk with our dog, we could be cycling, we could be, walking at the beach or anything of that nature. Any moderate or modest form of just moving out, taking in the sun, is something that can be able to improve our mood. And when we improve our mood, we improve our mental function. And thank you so much for that, TikTok superstars of the University of Western Cape. We will now move on to the most important segment. But before we do that, I really want to ask you guys, before we move to the soul, what is it that you think connects your mind and your body in a way that makes you feel better? Also, I think.
Just feeding off of Nathan's hiking. I remember myself and my partner going to a hike on Lion's Head, and I was so nervous because it's this huge rock and you don't know what to expect. And just walking up there, it's like, my word, I can't do this. And that just also goes back to the self-talk, what you're telling yourself, because the more you tell yourself, I can't do this, the more you feel like you can't do it. And having your team with you, your friends with you, telling you, come on, let's go, we're almost there. And finding that it's actually an adventure. You're climbing rocks now, you're not walking anymore, you're crawling, you're up against the mountain. And when you reach the top, it is so phenomenal, that view, it's breathtaking. And that is what links the body and the mind, because the body gets you to that destination where your mind feels, wow, why was I complaining the whole time? It's actually such an amazing feeling of being on top of the world now after having done that hike, and it's all beneficial for the muscle strength, the body, and it boosts that mind.
I think for me it's the most basic thing of realizing in the morning that you need the body to activate the mind, because some of us say we wake up first and the mind is alive, the mind is aware of everything around it. But what I realize, why people sometimes linger within a moment of possible depression, is that the body does not connect with the mind, and it doesn't allow the body to get up as well. And that is what I tell myself every morning, is that 1, 2, 3, up with the body, up with the arms, up with the legs, and it's the most stupid thing to do. But I know personally, for my own mental health, I can lay there in my nothingness, and it's not good for my body. It's not good for my body, and later, that my body being dormant like that makes my mind so relaxed that I want to stay in that moment, So getting the body to help the mind boost itself, for me, is the most basic thing I can do every day. And so I walk around yesterday, it was the weirdest thing, yesterday is the afternoon, because I took a small little nap, and you feel sluggish after that. And I told myself, no, get up, come. So you again, you tell yourself, walk it off. And we always wonder why people say walk it off. Why? Shake it off, walk it off, do something, breathe it out, lift up your arms. But the body, the movements need to inform the mind to say you're alive, you are breathing, you have purpose, so come and do something. And I actually later in my life only discovered how much I need these limbs, this body, and this movement to inform this mind that it needs to be healthy, that it needs to act the things, that it needs to do certain things to stay alive and to be a participant of the world, And I think that for me is the most basic limb. It's the fact that we need to get up, get these limbs going. If it means you do a little warm up in the mornings, I see people do it. They do a little warm up in the mornings, or do a little walk around before you get into the day. You are busy starting your mind. Your mind needs the movement, that activeness to get this mind going for what you need for the day.
100%. I think, some people do stretches in the morning, yoga, and I think it's a beautiful way to just bring together how the mind and the body connect, and how they, stimulate us in various ways that improve our functioning. And thank you so much for the people who submitted those videos, because they've helped us really navigate this in a practical way, instead of us just talking here about what the theories are saying. But these are things that are in practice, and the creativity is something to marvel at as well. And now we've thought about the mind, we've thought about the body, and because human beings are complete beings, we want to think about what is not normally seen, and that is the soul. But before we get to that, let's watch some more videos that you guys have submitted for us.
one of my favorite ways to look after my own mental health is to find my inner child and just play freely with my favorite kids.
And now I beg to see your days just one more time. So they say, tears for me, tears for me, tears for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They
Unjani sithando sami?
Ngiyaphila sithando sami ndani.
Usugezile? Uqambelana manga ngoba ngiyakubona sibunga.
Akuba ngibonakala ukuthi ngigezile hawu. Ubani uzobana
la manga pho?
Bengidlala.
Hayi ambogeza ngiyeza manje ezokuphatheleni.
Ngiphathele keke. Ngiyacela.
Ngithanda udla into eyodwa wena ngiyathanda.
Ngiyakuthanda.
Awuzi ukuzama ezinye izinto ezibili iboqo.
Usuyathetha ke manje.
Angithethi.
Hawu. Ngicela. Ngicela.
Okay, it's fine.
Ngiyabonga.
Ngiyakuthanda ke.
Thanda mina.
Ambogeza.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Baby, I need to know. I just been fantasizing, and we got a lot of time. Baby, can throw the pipe. Gotta know what it's like. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Baby, I need to know. You're exciting, boy. Come find me. Your eyes hold me, girl. Come.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's still your boy Lidobuhle Manjoni, and we've just had a couple of minutes watching videos that got to do with the soul. And I think you guys have submitted some creative stuff without saying any words for some of you, and some of you just showing us with action what do you do to get your soul intact with your mind and your body in sort of ways to try and improve your mental health. And I just think for myself, because the soul is such an intangible thing, but such a central thing to human beings, you know, what is it that you do that really gets yourself in touch with yourself? And for you, Kay, what would your answer be to that? What stood out for you in those videos?
So, I know when we speak of soul, we always think we need to meditate, we need to just be calm with ourselves. But we don't have to just sit there and just, you know, zen. One of the videos that was played was walking in your garden. And that's where you're walking barefoot, and the term is grounding. And that also has benefits for your mental health. It reduces your stress, lowers anxiety, and just doing 30 minutes of walking can just improve your well-being. And it's important to also note that you don't have to do 30 minutes straight. If you can't manage it, don't force yourself, because at the end of the day, any form of walking anywhere adds up. And what's also important to note is when you're walking with your pet even, you can walk alone of course, but if you're walking with a pet, you don't feel so lonely. And you know, they're always sniffing everywhere, pulling you here, and that also just, you know, strengthens the arm, it's come here, and you know, that also contributes. And also just being with your pet, they just make you feel good as well, because they know when you're not feeling too good, and they come to you and you just feel loved as well. That feeds your soul. And also walking in nature, being in nature, it allows you to take time out and look around and feel. You can kind of get lost where you are, just being outside. And I think those videos were so important for feeding the soul, contributing to, you know, your zen, your relaxation, you know, just being calm with who you are, being calm with where you are as well, and with who you are. So yeah, those were the videos that really stood out. Yeah,
no, I mean, thank you for that. I mean, for me, you know, I think of, you know, things that, you know, speak to my soul as, you know, stuff that, you know, gets me away from the world's troubles, you know, that gets me away from the day-to-day stress. And I saw someone playing with their kids, you know, and it resonated with me because when I play with my daughter, she loves going to the park. And I have to be honest, I didn't always want to go there. You know, it's like, hey, let's go play in the park. And you know, where we stay, we've got a park inside, and so she likes to go there. And I realized that even though sometimes I don't want to go with her, But when I'm there, out there with the I regret feeling, the feelings of not wanting to go, because it's such a, rejuvenating experience to watch her play, roll around the grass, get up the stuff, the bungee, the jumping stuff and all of that. So for me, the whole idea of that video where the person was playing with the kids made me realize that that's something that really, resonates with me, that I'm in that moment only with my child and I'm playing. And I'm doing nothing heavy, I'm just playing. And it makes me feel so good to know that in that moment nothing could have taken my happiness away. And it's something that really contributes to me
You
feeling
need to channel your inner child
Yeah, you as well. You sometimes end up having more fun.
Exactly. And I don't want to go. And I think this is largely because society doesn't allow us to continue to be, children. Because society, entraps us into the whole idea of socially engineered adulthood. That you can't play because you're an adult. You need to go to work, you need to be busy. And children are so free. And they are an expression of what the world needs to be, because they can play, they learn through play, they understand through play, they communicate through play, they show love through play. And I think that's exactly what resonated with me there as well. And speaking about that, because we need to live a balanced life, and sometimes there's relational things as well, like, how do you set boundaries in terms of, who do you go to when you need, support from friends and partners, and sometimes we really need to be able, for me, I get strength from, my partner, I get strength from my friends, in these different relationships. And I saw the cute video of the couple, speaking to each other about, getting, the partner wanting to get his partner something something nice. And that does wonders for me. My partner knows, when Arsenal Football Club loses a game, which is more often than not, she really, knows how to pick me up. And some of those things are based on the things that I love. And that positive affirmation from your partner, from your friends, from your family, I think that's very important. What stood out for you, Nathan?
I think for me, what really excites me in life is the dancing. It's seeing people let loose, and in that moment, you escape again. You let loose, your body is moving, but certainly endorphins are being released to your brain as well. And it's those happy chemicals that your body needs, Dancing is such a natural thing to all of us. If you weirdly enough, if you put music on in a baby, in front of a baby, how do they know that they must move? So the melody and the rhythm and the rhythmic motions and the vibrations that speaks to your mind, that informs your body to action it out. It doesn't matter if you can dance or not. Some of us are next to the beat, but that's also okay. But that helps us really improve our mood, because what happens, we laugh. We laugh our socks off by looking at people and their dancing moves, and we imitate our parents, and we love at a family function getting the grannies to dance with the showers, their moves, But dancing is such a universal language. It's a universal thing for all of us to just freely express ourselves. And it really takes us to this happy, and I think that is what the soul speaks to. The soul speaks to internal happiness, that internal moment of where you just feel everything feels right. And that's when the soul is fed, So I think dancing helps with that. And suddenly the video I saw, which is so interesting and beautiful, because as one of the university students, as the playing of the piano, is firstly the art, the appreciation of the art behind playing the piano. And I think any form of art that we have, you're escaping and expressing, the artistic side of you. And at the same time, there's a different side of your brain being stimulated. The different side of your brain being stimulated by the arts, but side of it, and also expressing the arts. So being a drawing or playing a piano, playing any kind of instrument, you are at the same time escaping your brain from this side that makes the list and thinks of life and makes decisions, but you're escaping to a different side of your brain that is telling yourself, be calm, express your art, brings you that sense of a mood stabilizer. And it's weird how we can stabilize our mood by doing stuff, and that's exactly what I think music does. I must say with COVID, I must go to a festival. I love festivals. I don't know about you guys. Going to a festival, standing on the grass and jumping up and down like a crazy person. And then just enjoying the person on that stage. In that moment, you will speak of that moment for years to come. But sometimes what is good is that the reflection of that moment helps you to stabilize your mood again. Because the moment you say, back then, leader, that was the night, you know, give it to yourself. And let yourself, your soul be fed, being at music, dancing, listening to somebody sing.
Thank you so much for those reflections, guys, and most importantly, thank you to you guys for submitting those videos that have stimulated our thinking about what resonates with us, and I hope it resonates with other people as well. But the fundamental message throughout the day we wanted to be able to bring to you is that it's okay not to be okay sometimes. And what do we do when we're not okay? And to sometimes accept the inevitability that sometimes we'll not be okay. But what are the strategies that we can do? And some of the things that you guys have shown us have really showed us what we can do that maybe we didn't think of before. But before we go, in fact, we're going to go now to the final segment of our show. But before we go, I want to leave the guests here with a question that I'll also ask to you. What will your pledge be for mental health awareness in 2021? And before you answer that question, we'll go to a quick break, and then when we come back, I'll show you my pledge along with someone else, and my guests will weigh into it. Welcome back, beautiful people. Thank you for joining us in our segment today in the mental view of your PACT to ACT. It was in support of mental health awareness, and thank you so much to our TikTok superstars at the University of the Western Cape, both staff and students, who've showcased to us what they do to deal with some of their mental health challenges. We've connected the mind, the body, and the soul as part of a holistic well-being of students and staff at UWC. And like it said, we want to re-emphasize that it is okay not to be okay sometimes. Repeat that hashtag it's okay not to be okay sometimes. And all we did today was run through some of the tips you gave and give you some of our tips from our own personal experience. So the final thing we want to do today is to say, what is our PACT to ACT? Okay, what is yours?
My PACT to ACT is to continuously share resources with those in need. For example, CSSS has a vast amount of resources that is housed within the university. They have campus protection, they have a life office where they have social workers and counselors there to assist students. We have the gender equity unit, the HIV and AIDS unit, therapeutic services, office for students with disabilities, office for academic support, as well as the leadership and social responsibility office, all within UWC. The numbers and contact details will be applied at the end of the video. So stay tuned.
There we go. Stay tuned for that. The credits will be at the end, and there won't be bloopers at the end. Only the credits and only the numbers that you need.
So we hope.
So we open. What is your PACT to ACT?
I think mine is twofold. It's firstly to always check in with myself, to continuously listen to my body that feeds my mind. Because we've learned so much about that today, and we can't take the teachings and not apply it. So I think that is so important, to listen to my body and know when I'm not okay. And when I'm not okay, to fill my cup first, to go out and for me, cook, put some good music on, maybe one glass of red wine, but to do what I need to do to fill my cup. And then the second thing would be to check in with others. Use that resources that are still left over within me to make sure others are okay. And when your cup runneth over, let others feel and get some of that as well. And make sure together we are then okay.
Yeah.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. So thank you guys so much for that. And I think you're probably asking yourself, what is his PACT to ACT? And what does he have in his hand? And my PACT to ACT is to support someone else in their PACT to ACT. Mr. Craig Lobsher, can you tell the viewers here, what is your PACT to ACT?
Well, Mr. Lulukushwe Monioli, my PACT to ACT, as it is every year since mental health awareness has been a part of my life, is to shave my beard on Mental Health Awareness Month and then grow it out for a year. When anyone approaches me asking me about my extra facial hair, it usually opens up a discussion where I can discuss and build awareness around mental health awareness.
Thank you so much, Mr. Losha, and that's such a big PACT to ACT. Please give him a virtual round of applause, and I'll do the pleasure and the honors of making sure I'm helping him with these PACT to ACT.
And your praise will be appreciated.
No, I'm actually a quiet barber.
Yeah. And I've seen his face after a year.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, senior citizens. We have just given this gentleman the opportunity on live television to give his PACT to ACT. And that's what it is. Just an opportunity for you to do something that you say is your PACT, it's your pledge to act against mental health stigma to begin with, and to be able to give some of these challenges a run for their money by doing all of the things that we showed you today. And so we want you to continue to be mentally aware and to understand that it's okay not to be okay sometimes. From me, my guests, and everyone behind production, we say adios, amigos.
See you guys.
Bye.